today, and we're going to get into the draft. For anybody who's not familiar, it is one band per team. This is very different from the previous year of Worlds, and you can see the bands looking like it's going to be Umbreon from TTV, and the other side is going to be Lapras, and that's going to be first pick on the left side team, then 2 for the right side team.
That big call out already. I was talking about how I think MJK's Umbreon play was what really set them apart, and it had a great season. So double defender ban is going to lead into that first pick of the Inteleon. This Pokemon has been so strong in recent practice, and what is MJK going to try to bring to the forefront against it? A first pick last week is no surprise, and we have Zacian here on our stream for the first time this year.
Oh, that's very interesting, actually. Surprisingly, of course, Zacian going very, very well in the entire season in ranked, for example, but a lot of teams have actually not valued it super highly. So to see it as the first pick, that is definitely going to be maybe a regional thing, but oh yeah, the Comfey coming out. On the other side, of course, we have the Koopa and the Slowbro. I just got to mention that. It's a very strong meta pick from TTV, but the Zacian Comfey is a classic for MJK.
Yeah, we're going to double commit to that solo carry strategy on the side of MJK. TTV instead bringing an interesting strategy. We're going to have a Buzzwole and an Espeon, which leads me to believe that the Inteleon is actually going to be playing Central. So Lutano going to be bringing that Pokemon into the Central area and allowing Otter to have the Espeon in the bottom half. We're going to have a lot of early game presence from both of these teams, but I think most importantly, TTV needs to get Celestia to that level 5. That is a big, big benchmark for them.
Yes, I think this Buzzwole pick is so good. It's going to be really good if they do end up going the spin source. Of course, they could potentially not. But also the unstoppable ability of the Zacian. You can just dunk it. You can take out 2 members at once. If everybody jumps on it once with the burst damage of this team, I think it's very, very possible. So I think this is an excellent, excellent pick. Not one that I've seen as much from TTV, but of course, we're not the only ones here today. Let's send it over to our casters, Spraggles and Doob Snacks, to take away game number 1.
Here we are, Doob Snacks, Yokohama, Japan, for the first game of our Pokemon Unite World Championships. Let's freaking go.
Woo-wee, Spraggles! I am so excited. We found our way to Japan. I ran here. I don't know if you saw that. I ran the entire way, straight up.
I was super impressed seeing that from you. That's really incredible.
The battle drums went off. The war is going on AO's Island today, and I am ready to go. So are these teams, and we got Zacian in the mix for the first opportunity to get locked in immediately.
Incredible stuff. You can see the crowd is pumped. We got Let's Go TTV out there in the stands as we start our game number 1. TTV from North America, your purple team. MJK from Japan, your orange team. Woo! Yeehaw to you and yours. Let's get this thing started. Inteleon heading into that central area for the side of TTV. It's the first time we're seeing Inteleon inside of a tournament. This is the first time we're seeing Zacian inside of a tournament with a North American team playing. So this is going to be really wild.
Sage of just ways that Zacian was released, Comfey on top of it. Right as it was released, that was kind of the go-to combo, and we're seeing it here live on the world stage. In front of it, though, a Hoopa and a Buzzwole looking to scrap early.
Yeah, Hoopa and Buzzwole, obviously a lot of power early into this combination, but Zacian Comfey, a thing of nightmares for all of us if you've been playing Pokemon Unite this year. So we're going to have to see if MJK is able to bring that out here into game number 1. Obviously, these group stages are brutal. Only one team moving forward from each group. So every single game counts so much. As we see Urshifu down here in the bottom path, preparing for these 850 birds.
There it is, and they're going in, and they're going to charge up. There's a little rapid strike action back and forth, taking a good crop of that for MJK. So, they're doing good on the experience. TTV keeping up, though, not doing too bad themselves.
Yeah, TTV looking pretty good right here as we see MJK heading up to this top path right here, sneaking in with the Urshifu, looking to pick something up, but no. Beautiful stun there from Ender. Celestial trying to make it back and just barely grabs that berry.
Grabs that berry, but also the fear of the port of the Comfey kind of getting plucked up by the Buzzwole, jumping right back on Lakaba, who's going in with the rapid strike Urshifu, has great movement, going to be able to dart out a little bit, and of course, poaching the wild Pokemon is Celeste there to make sure that they can at least get experience if they can't get the KO.
Beautiful play there from both these teams, really aggressive from the side of MJK, and then at the same time, TTV making sure that they could secure that wild Pokemon experience throughout this fight so they can keep level parity right here. So we got that Sacred Sword Zacian moving on in to secure a lot of that. We got the snipe shot there from Inteleon, massive amounts of damage coming out from the side of TTV.
You can tell.
Oh, and they got the Zacian!
Listen, infrared glasses on. They found him in the weeds and blew him up in half. Send him packing. Zacian getting put down early in another one to Smew. What is Lutano's got that third eye, got that inner sight going, finding them all and knocking them all down. K openers 2 ways into the hands of TTV.
Beautiful stuff from TTV right here. There are a few, builds that are amazing on Inteleon. A lot of players choosing liquidation, but as we can see, I mean, Lutano, an absolute sniper for the side of TTV, picking up 2 massive KOs early. We've got about 10 seconds now until objectives spawn on top and bottom path. MJK getting aggressive once again, but a snipe shot almost takes out War Turtle.
Yeah, Otter peeling back. They're low on HP, but there's no commitment out of MJK to try and get that KO. And listen, we've got Slowbro here, who's kind of the Zacian art counter. Once it gets slow beam, it's going to be there. But Zugruk knows how to get spacing for this team. And the fact that, well, the rest of the team's already working on Regice, that spacing is going to happen in the form of Scald on top of the Mew. Boosted auto hits Slowbro, doesn't matter. Nice little pop shot on the Phantom Force on the Zacian, who can't get it in time. Sealed up. Nice Unite move by the Espeon. Bang! Zacian down again. And TTV is getting huge out here. Lutano says, welcome to the Guac Bowl. You getting slashed up, mixed up. Unite move out of the Urshifu. Doesn't even matter. Comfy's getting stitched up. KO streaking 3 out the gates for Lutano. Otter gets themselves one on Espeon. Wendy's 4 for 4 out of the gate. Spraggles TTV is playing motivated. Regional finals energy.
That's a
KO out of the gate. Come on. That the whole team goes down. MJK's got to be one. Who is this man? Where did he come from? And then why is he stomping on our lives in our own home country?
Incredible stuff here from the North America champions, TTV, to start this thing out. Obviously, MJK is not out of this fight at all. They have so many options to come back inside this game, but what a commanding lead to start our World Championships from TTV. Massive snipe shot right there. Unfortunately, misses that War Turtle, and from the side of MJK, they really need to funnel some experience over to War Turtle, still sitting at level 8, not yet a Blastoise, has no Unite move for the team.
Surfs through, comes through, tries to buy some spacing so MJK can literally get any objective off the map. Buzzwole Unite comes out and of course takes out Urshifu. They're just converting on every engagement that they've got. War Turtle seals up Regieleki, but I don't think TTV cares, Spraggles. They're looking to take some bodies because they know they've got the experience lead, and talking about taking one, how about a Mew?
Beautiful eject button right into that side shock from Otter on the side of TTV. And right now, TTV dominant in all these fights. However, incredible positioning from MJK in that fight at the top of the Regieleki. You could see them positioning themselves in front of Regieleki, so the snipe shots from that Inteleon could not make it in and secure it. Even though MJK is still way, way down. Only 8 score compared to 157 of TTV as we now get ready for this bottom objective. Inder here in the bottom path, ready to bring the team down Avengers style with that Unite.
Yeah, and it's only going to get tougher for MJK to take engagements here because that Slowbro has a slow beam, and that's a great engagement. We're going rings unbound, and we're trying to protect this goal zone. We're throwing the fists out to stun him down. Where's the team follow-up? Nice skull back the other way. This is leaving this Registeel all alone for MJK. Great secure for them. They're getting experience, but the fight rages on as really all TTV wants to do is insulate this goal zone. Nice little stun. They take out the Mew, which means the Comfy can come for free. Hops right on time, and Zacian, who is out like a thief in the night.
Once again, MJK, with some excellent positioning in that fight. They were not able to win on the KO perspective, but they kept themselves in front of the objective, ripped it down to make sure that TTV could not get it. Still, TTV in a commanding lead here. If you take a look at levels, though, they are starting to even up across the board here, especially after securing that last objective. MJK still very much in this, but behind on score. They're going to want to put some points on the board before Rayquaza hits in about 1 minute and 45 here, Dude Snacks.
You can see what TTV has put together. A very front to back, buy some time, line up some snipe shots, get big KOs for Lutano. On the other hand, MJK is just taking individually powerful Pokemon that leverage certain things and trying to use that collective power to get some wins here. Buzzwole poaches another one, puts it on the backside, forces out the Urshifu Unite. Hydro Typhoon comes out, that's 2 players down for TTV. MJK's finding the flow, they're trying to get under. They grass knot him down, but they blink out in time. And there's the KO from the Inteleon on the Blastoise. Back the other way, the Urshifu keeps the push. Comfy Unite comes out to keep those 2 players standing, but the siege on the goal zone is fairly successful as they're finally able to get more points in.
Yeah, really nice stuff here from MJK, and they are coming back into this game. That Comfy bouncing around perfectly inside of that engagement, making sure that Urshifu could survive long enough to pick up some big KOs. TTV still up on this thing. 136 points separate these teams. As I talk about a lot, Dupe Snacks, I feel like 100 points is a huge difference maker moving into the final moments. If you're up by over 100 points, it really puts the pressure on your opponents to do something big at Rayquaza, because they can't just peel off and make one score happen.
Yeah, because the Urshifu was able to get quality KOs there in that bottom path exchange, it is now the biggest thing on the map, and they need to get behind that Rapid Strike Urshifu and make big things happen. Nice secure by Otter on the Regieleki, just to give themselves a different problem to have to deal with on the side of MJK.
Now, MJK actually in a decent position to do something at this bottom Reggie, but it looks like they're getting ready for this fight, and they may be looking for a pickoff here of a member of TTV as they're positioning themselves already at Rayquaza. 10 seconds now until the first Rayquaza of our World Championships. TTV in a commanding lead currently as they set themselves up around this pit, watching their top goal zone. MJK looking to move in on Rayquaza right now, hitting with some damage here, but they are not starting this fight. The snipe shots move out, and everyone is patiently waiting to see how this is going to kick off. No one wants to make a mistake right here as a massive snipe shot chips up this Blastoise. More snipe shots following in here from Inteleon. Rayquaza still being hit right here, but no one actually taking this. And this is great for TTV because obviously MJK is the one who needs to make a play right here. They need to make something happen. TTV actually peeling back right now to continue getting some experience here, Doomsnacks, as it looks like they're moving forward.
They go in, big time serve, tries to go for the engage. Zacian's there for the follow-up. Urshifu takes the first one. Hydro Typhoon's trying to buy some time, and it buys some KOs. Two of them there. The Mew's going for the follow-up. Zacian gets no 3 players down for TTV. They're going in. The Urshifu Unite is actually flipping the script on top of the Rayquaza. Lutano's hanging out in the back. They're going to have to make a prayer play as the rings are unbound. The Hoopa is unbound, but it's nowhere in sight. This thing's getting low. Snipe shot lined up. Zacian takes it. MJK takes it. They're down by a ton, but they got those Hundo burgers on the menu. They just got to get that thing in. Zacian's buying some time. They're going to put some points in, and all of a sudden MJK says that might have been a penta KO on your side, but we win it on the scoreboard, baby. Let's get it.
MJK raining points in right now, but it is still not over. 327, 256 is more points rated for MJK. They are putting them into the main goal right here, and they're taking a KO on Lutano. Inteleon goes down right here, and this Urshifu is just cleaning it up right here in these final moments. 256, 403, and they pick up a triple KO.
You've heard of Lutano. How about Luca? We're going in, baby, and they're trying to find another one. The Comfy is just riding this Urshifu till the brakes fall off, but until then, it's TTV's brakes that are falling off. 4 players down, just Otter stands, and there's more points going in. Group E kicking this thing off. MJK looking saucy.
That's right, MJK from Japan taking game number 1 here against the North American Regional Champs, TTV. Beautiful final fight there. Incredible stuff from MJK. What a start to our series, Doomsnacks.
Oh, man. Are you serious? I mean, TTV comes out of the gates, could not have asked for anything more out of a big-time player like Lutano. Gets a KO streak of 5 right out of the rip, and then MJK plays, stays in the pocket, doesn't get flustered, and look at that. Turn the tables on it.
Amazing stuff right here. Obviously, TTV in a commanding position through most of that engagement, but MJK with a massive fight here at the end of it. I can't wait to hear what our analysts think about this. Let's send this thing over here to Zoinks and Wonderchef to break it all down. Gentlemen.
What a way to start our tournament. An exciting game between these two. TTV had that early game on lock, and then MJK come back with a major swing. Wonderchef, that was a really fun game to watch. I mean, stats-wise, looking good on both sides. I mean, that late-game swing really helping MJK's knockout numbers.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, we were watching from the stands, and it felt like this was a wrap at the even like 4 minute into the game mark, the 6 minute mark in game, but it was just so dominant from TTV. I cannot believe that MJK had such an incredible comeback, not just as far as, of course, securing that final Rayquaza, but just as far as actual strength of their team. And one of the coolest things I got to point out early on was that we got to hear so many of the Japanese fans actually cheering for MJK to make the comeback. And then, hey, guess what happened? That's the kind of level, that power up that you need.
Yeah, that home crowd advantage helping. And honestly, I think MJK showing showing why they are here on this championship stage because of how they played their composition in that final team fight. TTV had almost no engaged tools whatsoever. Slowbro maybe, but that's getting you just a couple of meters in front of yourself. And other than that, Buzzwole, but you're such at risk for getting slammed by a Zacian or an Urshifu. MJK gets positioning early and just creates a tough wall. The poke damage is there for TTV, but the actual getting the bodies in there a little bit tougher. Let's take a look at the actual numbers though, because that's our specialty. A lot of damage on this screen, a 91,000 damage for Lucapo.
Oh my gosh, that has to be the name of the game. The Zacian, you know, it was shut down pretty strongly early, and I think that's a big reason why it looks so tough for MJK, but Lucapo just altogether looking so incredibly strong consistently throughout the game, and that's why we got a chance to see them make that comeback. But here we can take a look at the highlights from that first match. What a way to start things off with a huge turnaround.
Yeah, TTV kind of surprising me with this Inteleon Central area pick, but obviously the value is here at the start. A Reggie Ice secure, and after that it was secure in the rest of MJK. Lutano puts up 2 in this first initial engagement, and that counts all the way up to 5 by the end of it. A Penta KO in our first game of Worlds? Are you kidding me, Chef?
A Penta KO at the 7-minute mark, and then that team doesn't win the game. I'm sorry, I'm just so blown away at, like, this is a taste of what we're going to be experiencing this entire weekend, and the game is just never over. That is such a great thing about how this game has kind of turned out in a meta direction. And you can see here, this was a little bit of an aggressive push that did manage to help, like, kind of, I don't want to say start the turnaround, but yeah, right here, this was everything the big team fight at Red.
Look at that Surf Blastoise just pushing everybody all the way to that edge on that Rocket, Urshifu, and Zacian. Love when all those enemies are just grouped up together in small little areas. They can completely shut that down. Unfortunately, Tano not able to base there, and the shutdown just swings the other direction. I mean, that Rayquaza secure was huge, but the follow-up gameplay from MJK to seal the deal was definitely on point.
I just got to point out that I love their draft choices overall, where, of course, the Comfey on the Zacian is a very, very strong pick. But that wasn't their only chance. We actually had a ton of great Comfey targets, and I think that's one thing that a lot of teams make mistakes with, was that they will depend on this Comfey is sitting on this Pokemon, and that is all that's going to happen, and they are going to win the game. And then that one Pokemon gets shut down, and you're like, well, that's GG, unfortunately. But, I mean, there was, of course, the ability to flex over to the Urshifu, which worked really well. You can see sneaky out there in the crowd. There's the ability to even shift onto the Blastoise to be very effective, so I love the way that they made their team. But let's see if there's any differences this time around.
Wow, okay, game number 2, of course, the draft sides are going to swap up. Let's see if TTV wants to stick with that Umbreon ban like they did last time. It looks like we're having a bit of a split decision, but MJK with a bold decision to ban away the Leafeon, which has been extremely popular, but it's probably a Leafeon ban to grab a different top pack Pokemon that they want to steal and make sure they have a good lead there.
Well, I wonder if it's going to be their first pick. There are so many Pokemon available, more than we've ever seen. Wow, first pick Zacian. Even though the Zacian didn't really pop off in the last game, you can just tell already how highly they value that. And on the other side, it looks like we are going to be stealing that Urshifu away from MJK. I think it's a great choice, of course. There's extremely strong Urshifu players on the side of TTV and the Umbreon.
Wow, yeah, so Sunbro taking away that Umbreon is giving MJK a chance for the Slowbro, but they're not going to grab it. Instead, grabbing Inteleon and Trevenant. So Trevenant obviously having a whole lot of kind of stunning abilities. Hornleech and Woodhammer is something that the Zacian can really pop off with, as well as an Inteleon if they do want to go with that snipe shot style of gameplay. Otter going to stick with the Espeon in that bottom half, and Ender going to grab that Blissey. So no Comfey for that individual support, but the Bliss assistance on an Urshifu who's diving all the way into the enemy zone is an amazing combination.
Now, I do see we're highlighting Eldegoss, but I was going to say I would be very surprised if we didn't see Comfey on the side of MJK once again. Oh, okay, well, I am surprised. Count me as surprised. But another surprise is we're actually going to see the Scizor pick, most likely a Scyther, I'd have to say. But hey, you never really know exactly how people are going to run this, especially currently. There's going to be a lot of surprises today. And oh, Lutano going over the Venusaur that we saw pop off so much at NAIC. So many hero plays. It's like, you know what? If I'm not going to get Snipe Shot with Inteleon, Inteleon, I'm going to be able to snipe you a different way.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Lutano has had hero play on this Venusaur, and they're going to have Inder's support backup there on the Blissey. But I do think a lot of TTV's composition is going to come down to Zugrug and their Umbreon play. Can they capitalize on these engagements with the mean look if they go that way, or is Zugrug going to be able to brawl for infinity? It's going to be a tough decision. The question mark on the other side, though, is this Scyther Scizor. Since we're running that Razor Claw, I'm tending to believe this could be the Scyther, but honestly, this item loadout, it could go either direction. So
yeah, it's surprises all day for sure. I would love to see the Scyther, but I'm expecting the Scyther as well. And now it's time to see how MJK plays Inteleon as we move into game number 2 of the set. We send it back to the casters.
Here we are, game number 2, Doom Snacks. Obviously, we're seeing this Zacian come back out for the side of MJK. Didn't really get to, you know, explode in that first match right there. So I'm interested to see why they're bringing it here into game number 2.
I think it's because it perennially offers up a challenge, right? Like, it's something that TTV has to frontline deal with because it may not have had the best game 1, but it certainly was causing static and problems that needed to be handled. That's where I'm looking. However, I'm immediately seeing Zugrug on Umbreon. I'm seeing Lutano on the Venusaur. And what we can do is we can lock down a player into a ring of, just a ring of sunlight and absolutely beam them down, and I expect to see that quite a bit here in game 2.
I wasn't going to interrupt you, but we just saw Dodrio with 3 separate hats, which I think is a huge, huge deal to have here on broadcast. And yeah, the question is, what kind of Pokemon do we see here from the side of MJK? Is that going to be a Scizor? Is that going to be a Scyther? I think, given the item loadout, as they talked about having that energy amplifier, it feels like they have a Scyther, and the plan is to get into that backline, take down that Espeon, take down that Venusaur, so there's nothing that they are able to do to stop them here in some of these big fights. Zugrug already really deep right here on the side of MJK.
But what's that done? It's bought a ton of time for that Espeon to come online already for TTV. And the fact that they made it out is even more impressive here. That's just icing on top of the cake, and that's exactly what Zugrug was hoping to get, and they delivered. So a decent early start despite the lack of action for TTV.
And let me tell you, I always put icing on a cake. Never have an uniced cake.
You don't like dry cake?
I'm telling you, you got to go with this icing, buddies. We get ready for
I'm gonna look into it.
We get ready for the birds here at the 850 mark right here. We can see the evolution. We have the Dark Bear single striker Shifu. A lot of that picked up from the side of TTV, but also a good amount here for MJK, as now that Zacian's level 5, missing with that empowered Sacred Sword.
Yeah, Zacian's still trying to bully a little bit, but now that the Wicked Blow Urshifu is online, they can put the pressure back. That's something that we've really seen. The west side of the planet, loving the Wicked Blow version of Urshifu. East side of the planet, loving the Rapid Strike, and we're seeing both flavors already today.
We're going to have to see if it's a West Side story here in game number 2. Come on, I made it happen. We got there. We do have ourselves a Scyther, by the way. That's level 6, so it does not went over to the side of Scizor. That's going to be important for MJK so they can dive in and pick up some big KOs. This is Woodhammer almost takes out Shifu, and there comes the Zacian to pick up the KO.
Overextended and calculated aggressiveness back the other way by MJK seals up a great KO on top of the Urshifu, sending Celeste packing. Of course, Inder wasn't in the stratosphere to give them the eggs they needed to stay standing. So, of course, a nice little K opener over to them.
A nice play here from MJK. They're in the central area right now of TTV, and this has been something we've seen from MJK in both of these games here. Just incredibly aggressive, always taking these fights, putting the pressure on TTV. And right here at the start of game number 2, they're looking a little stronger than they did at the start of game 1.
Nice little cotton ball on top, trying to secure that for the team without having to overextend. Of course, it goes the way of TTV, and that's what they were hoping, of course. But look at the pressure that the MJK is mounting in the bottom path here. Hagu King playing very well and playing very strong forward with the tree, allowing for this push to kind of rage on. They're just trying to buy some time for Lucapo to engage. They go in. The wing beats come through. They can't quite get the KO. Finally, Ender shows up for the support. Egg bombs are starting to rain in, and there's the beam. A beam on top of a tree. They ain't Miracle Grow in that one, as they're forced to retreat a little bit. Umbreon going back and getting a KO on the Inteleon. Okay, TTV's trying to mount something here, holding on to their goal zone. But now now the Scyther used their Unite back the other way, and this KO should get 2 for them. They're trying to find, now they'll make it 3, baby! They get far in the back line, and they're getting it for themselves. MJK, yikes, coming alive.
MJK looking amazing here at the start of game 2. They've got the Inteleon right now. They've also got this massive aggression here, and you can see it with that Scyther, a Pokemon that we do not get to see a ton of competitively, but it is absolutely going off here in game number 1 as they are continuing this push, looking to raid more points into this goal, and they're trying to break this thing. Nice big Sacred Sword. Umbreon has to run away.
That's one thing with Umbreon. If you're locking the players down or keeping them in one spot, I mean, Zacian loves to sit there and hit its button right in your face. And that's kind of what Zacian does. It's offering up a very simple problem to answer, but what it does is it stresses all the other problems that you're being presented, and you can't just necessarily answer all of them that easily.
Yeah, what we have on the side of TTV now is finally this Venusaur. We also have Urshifu, who stayed top that entire engagement to make sure they can continue the experience, continue to stack their attack weight. MJK, once again, just insanely aggressive at this objective, and they secure it.
Yeah, Aqua King and Lakubo have been playing such a good front line here. Trevor Unite comes up. That's on top of 3 players. Solar Beam back the other way. Finally sorts out Lakubo. Now this might be an opportunity for TTV to make a stand here. But unfortunately, the points are going in because the Regieleki hit. So really, all MJK has to do is get as many points in as possible. I can't believe the Zacian got a KO Sugar 2 on the way out. Lutano gets 2 back the other way, but MJK gets another positive exchange.
MJK gets the objective. MJK gets the KOs. MJK gets the score. MJK is looking very different from game number 1, a game that they already won. TTV in some trouble right here. Level-wise, things are somewhat equal between these two teams, and the question is, are they going to be able to shut down this Inteleon? Because it's going to do insane damage at range. We saw a couple of TTV's tools come out in that last fight. We saw the lockdown on a Pokemon, so you could hit them with the Solar Beam, so you could hit them with the Psy Strikes, but TTV is going to need to get a lot more aggressive in some of these fights. They're going to need to pick up a ton more KOs, because right now MJK is running this thing.
Yeah, I mean, Basement Reggie in about 10 seconds here, and TTV's just trying to make their way down, and they're so bullied, they actually have to move kind of like in a crescent moon pattern just to try and get to the bottom path. Zugrug's trying to get on top of Sonya here for the Zacian. Tons of damage getting rained in. Another Scyther Unite, but they get buckled very quickly, caught by the Solar Beam, I'm sure. Wicked Blow can't quite find the Eldegoss as they're moving through. Zacian's kind of playing backline to the Eldegoss, believe it or not, as Zugrug's getting shredded. Is this going to be a KO finally for the Zacian on Zugrug? No, the Unite move comes out, buys them a little bit more time and eating some shields. The rage continues. Trevor Unite on top, and finally Haku King tries to make it happen. The Wicked Blow rains true, and that takes another objective over to TTV, and that's the one they needed, Spraggles, to keep them in this game. Zugrug finally goes down, but TTV's work here is done.
Yeah, TTV having an excellent fight here, and they need one here in this match because they've been behind through a lot of this game. The liquidation lands true on the Espeon, and that is another KO for the Inteleon on the bottom path. MJK fighting extremely well, but we have level 13 already on this Venusaur. Massive power spike for this Pokemon. You're going to see those Solar Beams early and often, and also late, midday, you're just going to see a lot of Solar Beams.
Yeah, at night, Solar Beam.
Midday,
Morning,
Solar Beam.
Morning, Solar Beam. Breakfast, Solar Beam. You eating them all day long, and that's exactly what they want Lutano to be doing. Buy time for those to get hit. But now this Regieleki is flying towards a tier 1. They couldn't sandbag it long enough, so it's going to be able to be dealt with fairly easily, but they're looking to push up the back of this, Greg.
MJK is just extremely aggressive right here, and some teams would walk away from this, but they want the fight. They want to try to push this in, and it is right there.
Celeste is kind of getting buckled. They forced to retreat. They get eaten by a liquidation here, and that thing's going to hit again. And now Zacian can frontline to buy time. A nice little overcap there. 293 to 123 with less than 3 in the game.
That's right. This is a huge break point here for MJK. Unlike their last match, right now we see that they are ahead considerably in points. They don't need to be as aggressive in that final fight, but I wouldn't expect that they're going to let off the gas anytime soon. MJK just keeps putting the pressure on TTV. TTV having a couple good engagements later into this match now that they have their Venusaur powered up, now that they have their Urshifu online, but they're going to need a big win here at Rayquaza, or MJK is going to take our first series of the World Championships.
Yeah, MJK positioning uniquely. They don't want the bottom objective. They're actually just trying to make a wall around it and have TTV collapse into them.
Yeah, and we can see now Lutano on that Venusaur making their way towards this central area. Obviously, TTV is looking to protect their squishier backline Pokemon, the Espeon, the Venusaur. They are using their ranged attacks to see exactly where they may be inside some of this tall grass right here, as MJK does not need to actually put the pressure on. They are way ahead on the scoreboard.
Intellion getting chunked by that solar beam that was bush checking a little bit. Hagu King going to be sought out and found as they go into that bush. And now it's just about trying to find where MJK is hiding. And they found one immediately. 3 players there chipping up. The Unite move comes out. Zacian is down. TTV found their mark and they cashed it in quickly. Hagu King's trying to peel back to the rest of their team, but TTV sees the Rayquaza as the objective they want. Zagrod, good spacing right on top of the Scyther. And now the Scyther has to dive into the middle. Double wing beat comes through. Solar beam as well. Burnanger trying to Unite on top. Holy smokes. 4 players down for MJK. TTV seals it up. Celeste gets it for them. And holy smokes, what a bounce back by the squad. The NA team says there's still fight left in us here in Japan. And now they're putting in those burgers.
They are looking to flip some burgers and get some points in right now. Nice little eject button into that solar beam. And here comes a massive 100 points from the Umbreon. 423, 293 for MJK right now. TTV with a commanding lead. 50 seconds left, though. So MJK is not out of this match at all. However, there are still members of TTV with Rayquaza shields. And you can see the Umbreon moving across the map away from everyone else, picking up Eos energy, getting ready to score as MJK is looking to put in one last fight here at this bottom goal zone.
They're already raining in attacks on top of the goal zone. The push is happening. Egg Bomb chipped up into the solar beam, and now Hagu King needs to play forward in space. Zacian's nowhere to be found as they're just trying to bully out Lutanos. They can't deal too much damage. Poaching off the thing is Celeste, but they've got a full ray shield too. Wicked Blow comes through. That tree is split in half karate style, and now we're all on top of this goal zone. There ain't enough points going in. Sprightle's no shot, not today. Celestial's game, Lutano's game. 2 for 2 on the back. Make it 3, and that's a dub.
What a beautiful series so far between these two teams. Incredible back and forth plays as we can see TTV are victors of that last match, taking an amazing fight there at Rayquaza. You can see the scoreline ticking up right here. We can now see who won. Big win there for TTV.
Great bounce back, and tell you what, they were searching for their target. They found the Zacian. They jumped on the Zacian, and that was really the beginning of the end for MJK in that game. The Zacian needed to stand tall and needed to be with the team. They were trying to get clever with their spacing. One good guess out of TTV, and literally, I don't even know if it was a guess, because Celestial pretty much committed right into that bush, and the follow-up was immediate. Once that first domino fell, the rest of the squad followed right after, and that's an easy ray.
Easy rave for TTV. Incredibly aggressive. I gotta hear what Zoinks and Wonder Chef think of this one as we take a look at the scoreboard. Gentlemen, take it away.
Can't count out TTV that early. Are you kidding me? In game number 1 of our World Championships, they are bouncing back, and we're headed to a game 3 for game 1. Honestly, for our first match of the day, it feels so good. And what a game there. You were saying before, Wonder Chef, whoever is losing just wins. And that so far is the story of our match.
I know, what a set. I feel like the first set of Worlds is like a grand finals already. This is exactly what we want to see. It is so even, you can see the score right there, but let's take a look at how the actual battle data went out, the damage numbers, and of course, Lutano now on really what truly is a signature Venusaur.
Oh, I said they put the Venusaur on the map, and I really do think they are going to prove that every single game we see them in. 87,000 damage for this Venusaur. They were really cooking in this game. Lucapo on that Scyther, though, I think had some great moments throughout the match. That was super cool to see. I really loved that. And again, this Zacian not really having the same level of impact. Early game, though, it looked amazing from Sona this game.
It did. Of course, it's really hard to judge because it did get jumped on in that late game so heavily. And actually, we can see it right here. Lucapo, again, like you mentioned, has been, in my eyes, oh, that was such a beautiful play. It was just absolutely beautiful. But I think one of the MVPs of this set so far, for me, on the side of MJK.
Yeah, it's been so fun to watch them play, and then kind of watching that style clash with TTV. I've always kind of defined TTV as a team that is incredible at team fights, but not because they're over-aggressive. They get 1, they get 2, they get out. MJK, not that way at all. They go in, and they go in deep. A lot of, flux zone pushes and making that value across the map wherever they need to find it, and it's been looking amazing so far. Zogrug on this Umbreon, I called out as one of the big playmakers of this matchup, and even though it wasn't the mean look build that I originally had predicted, I think it was so impactful. Those stuns at that final end of Snarl are massive, and getting multiple stuns just makes it that much easier for Otter and for Lutano to really hit those big special attack damage spikes.
Right, for anybody who's not as familiar with some of these newer Pokemon, we're going to see Umbreon with a lot of different builds throughout the day. It is a strong Pokemon in a bunch of different, almost even roles, but you can see right here, that was the follow-up after getting that pick. It's just a beautiful collapse from the side of TTV, and we could just see it happening in slow motion, really, as we were watching it live. It's just like, yeah, that pick happened, and you know that TTV is not going to give up that opportunity. And so, exactly like we said, it's been 2 games where it's been an early lead from one team, and then they've lost it. But now the question is, how do you hold on? How do you stay in the lead the entire game?
Yeah, exactly. They are. Can you win early and win late? That might be the secret to winning this one. Now, Celeste is going to have the Player of the Game award, and for that play call in that final moment, I definitely think that is worth this accolade. Running the Wicked Blow throat shot build that Celeste definitely tries to focus on primarily. A lot of that big hit secure, but also, as you can see, kind of that 1-2 combo of throat chopping in, hitting one Wicked Blow, Unite move, and following up into another Wicked Blow to basically eliminate one threat single-handedly.
Yeah, the Urshifu is going to be a hugely important Pokemon, of course, to be able to secure a lot of those objectives as well. And so we are now going to be going into Game 3. We've seen a lot of switches, like basically people taking their opponent's Pokemon because they're just so good at it as well. But you can see right here, we just saw Celeste extremely strong on that Urshifu, but now they're saying, we don't want to give you your first pick Urshifu, so we're just going to ban it out, even though it worked very well for us.
They're going to take that away. Now, there's a whole lot of defenders available for the side of TTV. However, in this position in the past, they have first picked that Inteleon. Honestly, the versatility that Pokemon brings is huge, but the defenders are really going to be the tail of this tournament. They are so strong. They really control this game. So grabbing the Umbreon first pick is no surprise to me, but do we see MJK steal away the Inteleon? We haven't seen them play today yet.
Well, based on exactly, of course, just highlighting it, but just what we've seen as well, they are going to first pick the Zacian. They love this Zacian, which is surprising to me. I don't feel like it's working out as well for them, but they do know how to base their team around it, and it has been working out. Oh, I mean, obviously they're 1-1 in this set, so that's going to give the Inteleon. The bigger surprise to me is the Trevenant first pick. Yeah. I feel like you could go way lower for picking that, but Inteleon and, of course, that Blissey for the side of TTV. I feel like TTV is very happy with this draft so far.
Oh, for sure. Hongo King grabbing this Trevenant first pick is interesting, but we always have this debate is like, do you let something that you know you'll get fall later, or do you want to keep the rest of your picks a little more secretive and grab something that is a bit more straightforward first, and you can just leave those spots at the end for counterpicking open, and there we go. Cramorant is on the table, one of the best executing Pokemon that we have in the game. That air/dot combination is amazing, but Wonder Chef, it's your favorite, so why don't you break this down?
I have been waiting for this entire year for Cramorant to be picked. This is the first time on a UCS broadcast that I've gotten to see Cramorant. I am so excited, and of course there are quite a few. Kello actually was saying there's quite a few coming out of Japan, but on the other side we are going to see the Buzzwole come back, probably being played by Celeste, and then the Espeon as well. So this is going to be some pretty high damage on the side of TTV. MJK with one more pick. Will they be going back for that? Yeah, it looks like we're probably going to go back for the Scyther. The Capo probably going to be getting that, but hey, you know I'm excited for the Cram.
Okay, in terms of roles, we have 0 of them in the game. However, MJK is essentially playing double speedster. We have Scyther and Cramorant, which are both amazing last-hitting Pokemon. Otter and Lutano are going to play so careful to not be caught out and just immediately burst it down. Indoor support is going to be great. That healing number is going to be huge at the end of the game. The problem is it comes a little slow. It comes in tandems, and if we have the rest of the Scyther and the Cramorant really popping off, they're going to shut down their enemies in between those healing moments.
Yeah, especially with just how squishy this team can be. So it's going to be really a lot about positioning from TTV. But one of these teams is going to go one up in the tournament. One's going to be losing their first game. Only one way to find out as these casters take it away for the final game of our first set of the day.
Here we are, already heading to a Game 3 Doob Snacks at the start of the World Championships right here. I gotta say, I'm loving the draft from the side here of TTV. However, MJK is coming out with some wild picks here. I have to give it up to Cowboy Cram. I'm so excited to see it on the battlefield. But I am surprised with the order that some of these came out, and I'm surprised to see Scissor or Scyther once again.
Yeah, you know, it didn't look bad, to be honest. They were working very well. Specifically, the Trevenant and the Scyther were working incredibly well. Lucapo and Hagu King were in there. That's how they were generating their pushes with the Zacian cleanup. So they found a lot of comfort there, clearly. Unlike my solo queue games, who loses early and then loses the game, one of these teams is going to have to figure out how to maintain their lead through it.
You know what? I would actually change your strategy up here, Doomsnacks. I would try to win early and win middle and win late. That will help you in some of your games.
Well, I've been studying the first 2 games we just watched, and I didn't learn anything. So I'm hoping we've got a straightforward one here to really coach me through this. Hoopa Zacian is a bully of a lane in the face of this Buzzwole, and Chansey gets eviscerated right at the gate, and Celestial just has to peel back and eat a berry and say, sorry, Ender, you have to catch the receipt for that one.
Beautiful play there from Sona, picking up a massive KO early. And yes, Zacian is just such a bully. Hoopa able to fight incredibly at range with those huge stuns also. And now we see nice secure there, it looks like from the side of MJK. Is Zugra looking for that level 4 right here. However, Otter already level 5 on the Espeon.
Yeah, exactly where you want Otter to be, right? Just funnel everything into them, sort out your supports and tanks later. No worries there. Neri, however, doing great job securing with those last hits and giving themselves a good level parity here with some of the bigger players on the other side. Zacian goes in, does tons of damage, trying to find Lutano, falls on top of him, goes after the Drizzile, who makes it back to base, and now they're kind of slowed down, but they've got the support right in the pocket. Lucapo and a little bit of Astonish gets the time that they need to get them out.
Once again, MJK just so incredibly aggressive in these fights. You can see they've got TTV on their heels here in this top path. Once again, moving in massive sacred swords, trying to take that experience that was secured, however, by the side of TTV. Right now, the scoreline very close, 8-0, as we can see the Trevenant in the central area here of TTV. Zugrug, the Umbreon, trying to chase it out right now, and they do push it back.
Creatively, though, they put the portal down to try and get the Trevenant back. It forces a weird cutoff by TTV to keep them from getting to the portal, and the Trevenant is still able to make it happen off its passive and its potion there to get out of there.
And we can see Scyther moving on in here, trying to pick up some of this nice big side beam right there with the stun. It's getting very low, but it's got the Hoopa portal that it can go back through, and it does. Incredible play there from MJK, and just once again, always in the face of TTV. And here comes the Cramorant with the dive, looking to see if it can pick up a KO on that Espeon. Espeon misses their shot right there as they push towards this bottom goal.
Cram goes down, Neri goes down, the pressure continues. Is anybody to fall on top of that portal to reset? No, they're going for the body. Ender is chunked big. Hagu King gets taken down by Lutano quickly, as that's a little Phantom Force for the Hoopa to get out, but it's KO streak of 2 for Lucapo. They're looking for everyone. Now they're caught on the backside of a nightmare. They get KO'd. Zacian tries to give them support, but now they're singled out. It's a 3-on-1, and they're collapsing on top of the Zacian. Can they get a Hoopa portal? They're going to see if they can catch it. Phantom Force comes through for a nice little potential stun and lets the Zacian get out of dodge. Now they're collapsing on Neri, who wants the KO on Otter, and they get it back the other way. Snipe Shot gets them sorted out, and this fight rages on. Hagu King finally frontline a little bit for Lucapo the Zacian, or for Sona the Zacian, and they're able to play back on their side. These are the most aggressive supports and tanks I've seen in a long time, Spraggles.
Insanely aggressive. The fight is still continuing. I think they only backed off there for a second so they could give you a moment to breathe. This Reggie Rock is being ripped off the board right here. MJK, once again, look at this positioning. Look how aggressive they are, just pushing TTV out of all of these fights.
I mean, they're trying to make TTV cross the living room with Legos on the floor. They keep stepping on them like, what's going on? Why can't I cross this living room? Why is it so difficult? And that was off the back of some port and a tank player. And there goes a goal zone as Lucapo and Hagu King again are going in deep. Zugrug is low. They find the engagement. They get the KO. Scyther still stands. Celestial comes through, gets the KO back on the Scyther. But the Zacian's just throwing down those big sword winds right in the middle, cutting off the rest of the team. Phantom Force right to the rest of the TTV squad to try and catch attention. Italian gets a KO back on the Hoopa, KO streak of 2 for Celeste, but now they're caught in the middle of a face of Zacian. Neri comes in, they're going tons of air support. Bang, 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 bang. They're trying to sort out the Calgary Cram is. Sona finally makes it out, dodges the egg bomb, and now TTV is sieging a goal zone, and they're finally going to be able to get a crop of points in. Come on.
Somehow making their way across the living room full of Legos. Call them the Sticky Bandits or the Wet Bandits, whatever you want to call them. They are no longer home alone as they are ahead on the scoreboard, 147-80. And man, what an aggressive series between these two teams. MJK just always putting that pressure on TTV.
When's the last time you saw so many yellow pips on the side of TTV's map? That is how much pressure MJK is putting on this team. They can't do the traditional wild Pokemon farming that they're used to. And now Hagu King's just on their side of the map poaching whatever's left. I mean, MJK has a very clear-cut aggressive strategy, and they're executing it over and over again. Nice secure on the side of TTV. And from the long range, Otter gets it done with the side shock. They're coming through. Zacian gets the Umbreon, but they're looking for one back the other way. Inteleon gets them. We have the Cowboy Cram Unite. They're firing shots on everybody. KO Strika 2, and now the Regieleki's going to hit, close that goal zone out. That might have been the best case scenario for them in this case.
Yeah, incredible stuff there from MJK. Cowboy Cram actually heading home through that portal, but it looks like they came back, got picked up there with a KO, as now TTV is pushing towards this bottom goal, looking to put some points, and they just want to break it at this point so that they don't have the positional advantage here for this next fight. TTV trying to make something happen. We see the snipe shots firing towards the side of MJK as they are continuing to push. Hoopa, of course, could bring the whole team down right now. It is level 9. It has its Unite move.
They're trying to stun down Zugrug. Nice little engage. Trevenant comes out. It only catches Zugrug, but that's a prime target for them right now. Woodhammers are laying in, and another objective bought literally off the back of Hagu King, who is playing so well on that front line.
Yeah, that Treven is just so incredibly aggressive, always in the face of TTV, but really every single member of MJK never afraid to take a fight, as we have 4 minutes left in this match. And there we go once again, Hagu King in the central area of TTV, taking away their farm.
I mean, the level of comfort that this player has on that Pokemon is very clear to all of us now. That's why they're prio picking it so high, because they know Hagu King just built different on this thing. That's what they want. And now they're closing out a goal zone. They're shrinking this lead. It's less than 200 now. Hagu King's there. If they get a KO on them, that doesn't even really matter, because they're isolating TTV from the rest of their key players.
Yeah, great stuff here from MJK. Of course, they get chipped up, they get pushed back, but they're able to put the points on the board. They are now down by less than 100 as a big Unite move comes in from the Hoopa. They're getting really aggressive on this goal zone.
Yeah, look at that spacing right on top of the Cowboy Cramp, so everybody had to retreat back through the shots that were going out. Zugrug's still playing far forward, forces out their Unite move. They're still on top of this goal zone. Zugrug's low, and Espeon takes out the Scyther quickly with a side shock here. A-Bomb misses wide. KO Streak of 2 for Otto. They're absolutely heating up. Who makes it through the portal? Almost everybody. Are they going to rain back through? They're not going to make that choice. They're going to hang out for a minute and take a deep breath, because that didn't quite end up the way they wanted. TTV standing tall in the middle of the tsunami.
Yeah, that was just crazy. It felt like they were coming at them from all angles, but TTV kept their composure inside this fight, pushed them back, secured that Regieleki, and now the question is anyone going to deal with this Reggie in the bottom path? Obviously, this can give you a huge advantage moving into Rayquaza, the final Rayquaza of this series. And as I said before, Dupes Next, these series matter so much. One team moves on from each group, and this game right here could be the deciding factor.
Without a doubt, these are 2 top-tier teams squaring off to kick off our day. That Regieleki is gone. The basement Reggie's about to hit the map. We've got 10 seconds till our Game 3 Match 1 Rayquaza. It's go time, baby.
And now we can see TTV with some aggressive positioning here in the top path. They're looking for MJK. They want to find exactly where they are. If they can catch Sona once again on that Zacian, they can start this fight in a big way. Of course, Cramorant is able to sort of dive around and see where they can find members of TTV, but TTV is ahead right now, so MJK needs to make the play, as it looks like we've got some aggressive positioning from MJK. No surprise there, as they slightly move towards this Rayquaza. No one wanting to start this fight just yet. Everything is on the line here in this series between these 2 teams. Zugrug with some forward positioning right here. Cram in the top path. They may have actually seen this Cramorant up there from Inder on the Blissey, but I'm not sure if they actually saw it, as Rayquaza's getting hit right now. Zacian goes down. Zacian is down.
Key member, they found them, and they're going to flip the script on anybody else. They're going for the engage. Hoopa's low. The Woodhammers are coming out. They're trying to buy space. We've got a Cowboy Cram Unite right in the middle. Espeon does go down. Otter's down. Now they're going to have to push back. Neri's putting in a ton of damage. They engage on Zugrug. 2 players down, and Lucapo's still up and going. Inder's trying to make some magic happen. They're catching out. Lutano's so low. There's the big stun by the Hoopa. That's another KO. 4 players down for TTV. Just Celestial left standing there, putting the push on him. Can they get the follow-up base? Can the Japanese team get it done? They get the KO. The Rayquaza is theirs. Match 1 MJK. It's time to get those ducats in. It's time to win yourself a match. switch.
They are running towards these goal zones. They are still behind on points. TTV looking to try to stop them, but they can't stop the bottom score. And it looks like they can't stop the center score as another 100 points rain in. 223-61 with only 30 seconds left and another 100 points for MJK. There really just is not enough time here for TTV as they look to try to stop a score. MJK with the incredible aggression right there. TTV caught out in that Rayquaza pit. The Inteleon went down, and then that was it for TTV. 15 seconds left as they rush towards these goal zones, but there simply is not enough time for TTV as it looks like MJK is going to take our first series of the World Championships.
I'm curious if MJK used the Zacian to do the bait and switch, because they caught the Zacian immediately to TTV. The difference was the follow-up, the follow-up, the follow-up. TTV got that KO. MJK was there to sweep in and buckle every other member of TTV, no questions asked. And holy smokes, what a team fight by them.
Yeah, what an incredible fight here from TTV. Just looking absolutely amazing.
Understatement, and a gutting feeling for TTV, because you know that is a huge, huge, huge roadblock for you on your way into day 2 for this event. MJK, on the other hand, has to feel great. You played against a good team. If that didn't warm you up for the rest of the day, I don't know what will.
Yeah, I mean, what an incredible start here for MJK. What an incredible start for Japan here in their home country at the World Championships right now. Obviously, we don't know how the rest of this group stage is going to play out. TTV able to take one game off of MJK right there, but they are going to need a very flawless run as they continue this group stage to have a chance to move on after losing this match right here.
Yeah, they slipped out of the starting blocks. It's not the end of your race, but you got to dig in and you got to find something within you to run hard the rest of the day and try to make some magic happen for yourself. MJK needs to use this momentum. We talk about momentum all the time. TTV had it in the NA Regional Finals. MJK just bought that thing at a premium right now, taking out a quality team and putting themselves on the path to day 2.
Yeah, as we take a look here, you can see our scoreboard right here. Obviously, TTV in control, but very, very close match right there. Then an amazing fight from MJK, and it was all over at that Rayquaza. You know, it matters how you play the first 8 minutes of Pokemon Unite, but boy, those pivotal moments at the end, you cannot make any mistakes. And unfortunately, TTV getting caught out in that Rayquaza pit, that was really it for them.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give credit on the side of TTV to Otter, who is doing everything under the sun to take objectives, take KOs, last hit, and make sure that this team could stay standing in the face of the pressure that was being put on. But if I need to shout one player out here for MJK, Haku King on that Trevenant, holy smokes.
Yeah, incredible stuff. And again, they were just always in the face of TTV. It felt like they were never letting the gas off at any moment. And just as you said before, Doopsnacks, there were points in the match where TTV normally would have cleaned their plate and gotten all of that wild Pokemon experience, but MJK just never stopped pushing, every single fight. Even when they were behind in that final fight, they kept being aggressive, they kept fighting, and they were able to come back and win this thing. Incredible stuff from MJK in our first series of the day.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, I was taking a look at MJK here, and they played, well, obviously well. We talk about aggression, that was very controlled aggression out of them. But I'll tell you what, we have Sona from MJK on the stage for an interview, so let's throw to that right now.
Thank you so much. Yes, I'm on stage with Sona from MJK after an amazing first game. Congratulations.
ソナ選手に来ていただいております。おめでとうございます。
Now, you